Hey everyone, welcome back to Mind Jam. Today we're diving into something that, honestly, I think we all wrestle with. Acceptance. Life's unpredictability it drives us nuts sometimes, right? We want things to make sense, to line up, to be fair. But life doesn't really care about our plans. It's messy, it's wild, and it's definitely not always fair. I can't tell you how many times I've tried to force things into order, only to end up more frustrated. So, what is acceptance, really? It's not just giving up or, rolling over and letting life steamroll you. It's more active than that. In psychology, especially in something called ACT, acceptance and commitment therapy, acceptance is about seeing things as they are, without that extra layer of resistance. It's like, okay, this is what's happening. Now what? Not, why is this happening to me? Or, this shouldn't be happening. It's a subtle but powerful shift. And this isn't just some modern self-help thing. If you look at spiritual traditions, Buddhism, Stoicism, Taoism, even some Christian mysticism, acceptance is right at the core. Not as a way to check out, but as a way to really engage with what's real, even when it's uncomfortable. I'll give you a personal example. Years ago, I hit a major career setback. It felt like the rug got pulled out from under me. My first instinct was to fight it, deny it, blame everyone and everything. But the more I resisted, the worse I felt. It was only when I stopped, when I said, all right, this is where I am, it sucks, but it's real, that I could actually start to move forward. Acceptance didn't erase the pain, but it took away that extra layer of suffering. Suddenly I had space to breathe, to think, to choose my next step. Now, let's talk about perspective. If acceptance is about letting things be as they are, perspective is about how we see them. It's like, the lens on a camera, what you focus on, how you frame the shot, totally changes the picture. Every challenge, every feeling, every weird twist in life passes through this mental lens. And that lens can either make your world feel tiny and suffocating, or it can open things up. Here's the thing. Perspective isn't about lying to yourself or pretending everything's great when it's not. It's about choosing a wiser angle on the truth. Like, a breakup can be the end of the world, or it can be the start of something new. A failure can mean you're worthless, or it can mean you were brave enough to try. I know that sounds a little cliché, but there's real science behind it. Our brains don't just record what happens, they interpret it. Meaning is made in real time based on context and memory. So perspective is actually trainable. That's why practices like gratitude, mindfulness, and reframing are so powerful. People who work on these things, who, make a habit of noticing what's good or pausing to see things from a different angle, they tend to bounce back faster. They're more resilient, even if their circumstances don't magically improve. And if you look at traditions like Buddhism and Stoicism, they're all about this. Buddhists talk about seeing things as they are, but also about shifting your relationship to suffering. Stoics, meanwhile, are big on focusing on what you can control. Your response, your attitude. Both approaches build emotional resilience, not by changing the world, but by changing how you meet it. So, here's where it gets interesting. Acceptance and perspective aren't opposites. They actually work together. Acceptance is about allowing what's happening, and perspective is about understanding what it means. When you put them together, you get this kind of inner freedom. You're grounded in reality, but you're also open to possibility. Let's say you lose your job. Without acceptance, you're just stuck in denial or anger. Without perspective, you might spiral into thinking you're doomed. But with both, you can say, all right, this happened. It hurts. But maybe it's a reset. Maybe there's something new ahead. The pain doesn't vanish, but it doesn't define you anymore. So, how do you actually practice this stuff? Well, it's not a one-and-done deal. It's a practice. Mindfulness meditation is a big one. It helps you notice your thoughts and feelings without getting swept away. Journaling is another. It lets you unpack what happened and ask, what else could this mean? That's a doorway to better perspective. There's also something called cognitive distancing. Like, instead of saying, I am angry, you say, I'm noticing anger. It's a small shift, but it builds acceptance without getting stuck in the feeling. Spiritual inquiry helps too. Asking yourself, what am I resisting? What story am I telling myself? And of course, gratitude practice. Not the forced, fake kind, but just noticing what's still good, even when things are rough. That widens your perspective. And honestly, just exposing yourself to different worldviews, reading, traveling, listening to other people's stories, can really broaden how you see things. I want to share a quick story from a listener. Let's call her Sam. She wrote in about struggling with a tough breakup. At first, she was stuck in resistance, replaying what went wrong, blaming herself. But over time, she started practicing acceptance, just letting herself feel what she felt, without judgment. She also worked on shifting her perspective, journaling about what she learned and what new possibilities might be out there. She told me it didn't make the pain disappear, but it did help her find peace, and even a little excitement about the future. That's the power of integrating acceptance and perspective. All right, that's a wrap for today. Life's not always kind, but it's always real. And that's where our power starts. Acceptance keeps us grounded. Perspective lifts our gaze. Together, they help us move from just surviving to actually living. Thanks for jamming with me on Mind Jam. We'll dig into more of this next time, so stick around. Take care and keep your mind open.